Internet, Andy here. Today I'm going to be doing a bit of a spoilery review of Oryx and Crake by Margaret Atwood. A lot of what happens in this book and what I want to talk about in this book actually happened at the end. So a lot of what bothered me about this book kind of came in at the ending. A lot of my opinions about characters and things came about through the ending, and it's not really difficult to talk about without getting into specifics, without being really vague. I'm going to make this a bit of a discussion, and if you don't want that, then skip the rest of this video. You start out from the perspective of a character called Snowman, who is the only human around. He interacts with these beings called the Children of Crake, who seem kind of human, but he alludes to the fact that they don't really know or can understand the things like science and reading because they don't have the same context as he does. They don't really get the references. As the book goes on, it goes to flashbacks of Jimmy's life, from basically from when he remembers up until this some kind of apocalypse that leaves him alone, that leaves him as the last person around. And that's kind of one of the things that I didn't really like about this book. I didn't like the definite sense of impending doom that you got, because I like senses of impending doom, and you can have a sense of impending doom without telling me that the apocalypse is going to happen. So that I wasn't really sold on. And then another thing, I found it really confusing at the beginning because it doesn't really explain that this is some kind of post-apocalyptic future, or that this is a dystopian novel, because it is. Basically, through the flashbacks, you discover that society has grown to value science more than art, and that valuing of science more than art has eventually causes the apocalypse. I'm not going to tell you how, because I'm not going to spoil the whole thing. It doesn't really tell you what the setting is at the beginning, and that I found kind of confusing. I didn't really like that. There are three main characters that I want to talk about. One is Snowman, or Jimmy, whose flashbacks you go through. I didn't really always like him because I felt that he didn't really know what he was doing. He was kind of the bumbling fool who made his way through this apocalypse by accident. So I don't really like that in a character. And then the second character is Oryx, who is a girl mentioned in the title. She is, from what I gather, the love of Jimmy's life. Again, this brings in the whole, I can't really talk about this without giving spoilers, because Oryx is only introduced about halfway through the book, and her backstory and her entire story and how she meets Jimmy is not revealed. Basically, that's over the last half, so it's basically spoilery in general that I can talk about Oryx in any sense. And I did kind of like her, but I didn't relate to her at all. She seems to have been sold from one person to the next. She never really seems to get angry. She never really seems to show any kind of emotion in the book that I can actually relate to. So I didn't really like that about her. Then the final character is Crake, who's also named in the title. He is Jimmy's best friend growing up, Jimmy is a word person, an art person, who's not really valued by the society anymore, while Crake is the scientific genius who's way valued by society. He gets into the best college, he gets the best job. Crake, over the course of the book, kind of develops into this psychotic, kind of cruel character, I guess you could say, kind of. I liked Crake in that you got to see him develop from this kid who's actually really smart into this kind of psychopathic character who creates these children of Crake, which are genetically altered human beings who have been perfected. They are his ideal of how humans should be, and yeah. I liked him. He's kind of the bad guy, but I liked him. The writing style of this book, I think, I like how the style sometimes fits the viewpoint character, so most of the time, so Snowman describes himself as a word person, and the language can be both elegant and metaphorical, and with all of the beauty you can have in hindsight, because most of this book is told in flashbacks, and then also in the crude, angry, present tense. I like how it switches between those two styles in the flashbacks and the modern or present day of the book. I'm gonna give this a 4 out of 5. I liked the writing style. I probably won't read it again. It's a 4 out of 5 because of the definite impending doom that I didn't like, and the really confusing beginning, where you weren't really sure what was going on, or what the setting was. It wasn't really clear. I'd recommend this book to people who like the impending doom of a zombie movie. You know the apocalypse is going to happen in a zombie movie, and then it does. It's the zombie apocalypse. This book is not about zombies, but that's the kind of feeling I got from it at times. And also, if you really like words, I mean, it's an intellectual book, to say the least. I'm reading it for my English lit class, so, you know, it's full of underlying themes and all of that. Thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more of this, you can subscribe to me with the button that's not on that side, but on this side above my head. And you can follow me on Goodreads. Also on this channel, there is another YouTuber named Jess, who is also going to make videos. You should check out her stuff, and if you like both of us, you can subscribe. If you just like me, you can subscribe. If you just like her, you can subscribe. Fun stuff. Finally, in the comments, we can open a discussion about impending doom. Do you like impending doom? Do you like knowing that the world is going to come to an end at the end of the novel? Or not? Let me know. Also, if you have any questions or comments about my videos or the books that I'm reading, if you've read them, please leave them in the comments, because I would love to hear from you.